But problema kasi pag nakatikim ng panalo yung tao, it never ends there. Parang nagiging manhid ka.
Wow.
That's over quarter century I spent in that industry. Napakadami ko nakita, Kuya Ron. Tinapon niya yung buhay niya dahil sa sugal. I've seen people lose businesses. I've seen people lose livelihoods. I've witnessed and heard people die, because of, depression. Let's raise awareness. If we can save one person from feeling the way I did, why not? It makes the world a better place.
Next level, live to the next level, live to the next level podcast.
Maraming pangako na napako, maraming gusto nating makuha, matanggap in a split of a second. Yan ang pangako, yan ang patibong ng isang addiction. Sabihin na nating sugal. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin to the next level. Not to promote sugal, but let us help one another and identify ano ba cost, ano ba ang epekto, at ano ba ang dapat natin gawin if you or other around you are being hooked into addiction of gambling. Ang ating resource person today, guys, ay wala pong iba. Isa ho siyang human being at hindi alien. Came to Canada nung siya pa ay 7 years old, back in the mid-80s. Lumaki sa Toronto, Mississauga, and he moved to Brantford para magtrabaho sa casino. Saan daw? Casino. Married with 2 kids, retired at 45 years old. Ang aga mag-retire na itong taon nito during pandemic. At alam niyo ang kanyang paborito? Chikot. Hindi chicks, Chikot kotse. Cars. He likes cars and he collect vintage toys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up and let's welcome to the next level, Puto Mendoza!
Hey guys, how's everything going over there?
So magsusugal na ba tayo, Puto? Yeah. Anyway, can you give us a little bit of background of yourself?
Okay, like Kuya Ron said, dumating kami dito sa Canada. I think I was 7 or 8 years old. Sa Toronto kami naglanding, and I pretty much grew up there, like Toronto, Mississauga area, right? And I really didn't know what to do as far as a career nung pagkatapos ng high school. But, I kind of fell into the gaming industry because, we had relatives, my dad, and a couple cousins, and a bunch of close friends, right? They were working in the industry, so I figured, hey, you know what, why not? And to make a long story short, that took me from working at Casino Niagara when they first opened to Brantford Casino up until I retired around the pandemic. That's about 26 plus years in the industry. That's why I believe Kuya Ron approached me because, I spent so many years in that industry, and I've seen so many things. Maybe I can share some of my experience, some of my knowledge sa mga kabayan natin out there, right? Na merong pinagdadaanan. And hopefully, I can shed some light and maybe show them the right path kung naligaw sila, di ba?
It's not about me.
It's not about you.
It's all about we to the next level. Again, Puto Mendoza. Bakit Puto, no? Can you tell us about bakit Puto? Hindi naman Bernard, right?
Puto.
Bakit naging Puto to?
To be completely honest, I get that a lot, right? So, I had a Shih Tzu when I first moved out of my parents' house. Parang anak ko yun eh.
Okay.
I named him Puto. Dahil I used to hang around with a bunch of Mexicans around that time. And, Puto in their language means something different, right? Sa atin, it's rice cake. It's a dessert. And I remember taking him to the groomers dahil Shih Tzu, mahaba yung buhok niya, right? So pinakalbo ko siya. But before that happened, binigyan ako ng application form, nakalagay doon first name, last name. So, Puto Mendoza.
Okay. So that's your Shih Tzu.
It was my Shih Tzu pet dog,
Pet-
which
pet
was
dog.
technically my son.
My son.
Yeah. So he passed away many years ago. He was
Oh.
epileptic, but you know
Wow.
what? I started using his name for social media to honor him, right?
All right.
Kaya Puto Mendoza.
Alright. Anyway, disclaimer. Itong ating podcast na ito ay hindi sponsor ng Niagara Casino, Casino Niagara. Yun na, doon na siya nagtrabaho for how many years?
I was opening team sa Niagara Falls. Stayed there for maybe just a little bit over a year. And then after that, I received the job offer sa Brantford Casino. And
Brantford, yeah.
I spent over 2 decades there up until the day that I
Dalawang dekada.
retired. Yeah. So altogether, ever since I started in the industry, it's about 26 years.
Yeah, very ironic, no? 26 years plus 1 or 26 years altogether.
26 years altogether, ever since I started, not just with Casino Niagara and Brantford Casino,
okay.
but also before that, we had charity casinos sa Toronto back in the mid-90s, right? It was a pilot program by the government, you know, to give people jobs, right? Dahil dati wala pang casino nun. Like there was no Casino Niagara, there was no Windsor, there was no Rama. This was way before all of those places opened. And it was basically we would rent banquet halls and we would have events every 3 days, right? And then you make as much money as you can, and then you pay the charity, and then you pay your expenses, and that's how it went. That went on for several years until the government called it quits, and then mga trabahador katulad ko na nagtatrabaho doon, we eventually transitioned to the commercial casinos. That's how I ended up at Niagara and Brantford eventually.
Yeah. Very ironic lang. Sorry to cut you. Very ironic kasi ang topic natin is anti-sugal, no? Hindi tayo pro-sugal. To the next level nga. We would like to advocate for people who got addicted to gambling. And pero knowing our resource person came from the casino industry for 26 years. Ngayon, he's out of the comfort zone and being comfortable na tinitira itong addiction na ito, itong sakit na ito, no? Na masasabi natin sakit in the society, right? So can you tell us about the fight o Puto Mendoza mula nung ikaw ay nagtatrabaho? How do you put yourself in that position na ito ang nagpakain sa iyo for the last 26 years? Can you help us understand ano meron doon?
So, a lot of people will question my motives, right? I was in the industry for so long. That's over a quarter century if you think about it. Ang tagal nun, di ba? Tapos here I am now trying to expose, not really expose, but at least raise awareness. Because
Raise awareness.
during my time, during my career, napakadami kong na-witness na mga tao na nalulong sa sugal, nasira yung pamilya nila, nawala yung negosyo nila, nalusaw yung bahay nila, nalusaw yung pinag-ipunan nila sa buong buhay nila over a span of ganun lang. I've seen friends, I've seen close acquaintances, even pamilya. And you know what? It hurts. It really does. Even though it is the industry na nag-provide sa family ko para so we can live in Canada, right? It's also
At may tawag. May tawag na naman ngayon. Golden Lechon. Ang lechon ng pagbabago. Anyway, i-quit muna natin yan. Maraming salamat, Golden Lechon, ng ating sponsor for this To the Next Level podcast. Ilalabas natin ng Golden Lechon Express Delivery. Abangan ho ninyo yan. Anyway, yeah, help us understand ano ang naging drive motivation mo na ito ang nagpakain sa pamilya mo for the last 26 years in Canada. E ngayon, nag-a-advocate ka ng iwasan ang pagsusugal o makarecover yung mga nasa addiction na ito.
dahil kung nakita nyo yung mga nakita ko over the years that I spent in the industry, nakakadismaya. You know, because It's somebody's father, it's somebody's mother, it's somebody's sister, it's somebody's brother. And I know personally how it feels to have somebody na malulong sa sugal. Because it's not just the family. Madaming aspects yan, madaming component yan. Financial, emotional, spiritual, even life. So I figure nung nag-retire ako, now that I have the time, why not give back? Right? Why not give back?
Parang Breaking Bad ang datingan nito, no? Nagpakain, ginom siya ngayon, early retired at 45, and right now stepping up to, masasabi natin, fight back. Not to the casino industry, kasi nandiyan na yan, ano? But to raise awareness sa mga kababayan natin, hindi lang natin kababayan, ibang culture, na this is an addiction or a sickness. I don't know what can you describe on that kind of habit na naging addiction. Samahan mo kami, Puto.
Sure.
Saan ba nagsimula itong larong ng, sabihin nating, sugal? What is sugal for you?
Sugal for me is, for me personally, like sa maraming tao, it means many different things, right? But to me, sugal is trying to get something for nothing. I hate to say it, but human nature yan, Kuya Ron, eh. It's like nobody ever wants to work for anything. They all want the big house. They all want the nice cars. They all want the nice fat bank account. But a lot of people, not all, a lot of people don't want to work for it. And casinos, sugal in general, they give you that false hope. Dahil, tingnan nyo, every advertisement that you see, social media, TV, radio, print, what have you, it's always the casino portraying a good time. Look at the background.
An
mansions.
entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment, right? So, mahirap na yung buhay sa mundo ngayon. So, pinapakita nila, hey, you know what? We can give you this. We can give you that. All you have to do is show up with your bank account. And dun nalululong ang mga tao because of that false promise, right?
Maliwanag yon. False promise.
It is.
So, parang sinasabi yung false hope din. Yung maling pag-asa, no? Pero, why people get hooked up in this kind of bait o yung patibong na puso? Ano meron sa tingin mo, on your opinion,
Yes.
ang nagtutulak sa kanila na, yun na lang, huwag na magtrabaho?
Again, it's the false promise of riches. Dahil, tignan nyo, lahat tayo nagtatrabaho, di ba? We work every day, 5 days a week. If you're full-time, that's 40 hours every week, 80 hours every 2 weeks, then you get a paycheck, di ba?
Yeah.
Dito sa Canada, magkano average kita ng tao sa isang araw? Like $300, $200, di ba? You have to make the effort to wake up, drive ka sa trabaho mo,
And the time.
deal with your boss that's cranky, like a lot of headaches, a lot of politics, blah blah blah. Uuwi ka pagod, di ba? Then you earn your $300. Sa casino, you can earn $300 in literally 3 seconds.
In 3 seconds, parang iyon mas lang, no?
It's one hand.
Ang lupit nun.
Malupit talaga. It's one hand.
So, ang mabilis ang kita kung mananalo.
Kung mananalo.
Oh, my Lord.
That's the biggest problem most people face. Yung kung.
Do you believe in luck?
I do. I do.
Okay. So, sabi nila, mas magandang pumunta dyan, baka swerte ka ngayon. So, paano yan?
It happens. Problema dun, you can't be lucky forever. And most people, when they walk in, lalo na kung baguhan sila, yeah, swerte. My experience, usually yung mga baguhan, tsaka yung mga babae na mga buntis. Lagi silang panalo. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Every time I encounter a newbie, we call it, or a pregnant lady, sigurado magtatrabaho ako because I have to track their winnings and they never leave and they always win.
Really?
Yes.
Yung mga babaeng buntis,
Yes.
yung nananalo sa casino?
Karamihan ng beses.
Oo,
Every
first
time
ko lang marinig yan, ha? Oh
Trust
my
me,
God.
I know this sounds weird, but in the last 26 years that I've worked in the industry, every time I encounter a pregnant woman, laging panalo, lagi akong pinagtatrabaho because I have to track their winnings. Yun ang trabaho ko
Okay.
din
To
dati.
track the readings. Isn't it na namamanipulate nga ba ang mga casino right now? Oo. Ang daming cameras. Nakita nila pumasok buntis. Okay,
No.
pananaluin natin to. Yung ba yung sinasabi
No,
mo?
that's one of the biggest
Okay.
misconceptions na, iniisip ng maraming tao. There's really no cheating, especially if you go to a regulated site. Like dito sa Ontario, every commercial site is regulated by the AGCO. There's a
Okay.
governing body, right? They are bound by strict rules, regulations, and policies. So walang daya yon. Talagang, swertihan lang, diskarte, di ba? But problema kasi pag nakatikim ng panalo yung tao, it never ends there. If anything, that's the beginning. That's usually the beginning of a very long and hard journey up ahead.
And anyway, sa mga viewers natin, disclaimer lang po ito. Lahat ng naririnig sa amin ay aming personal and subjective opinion lamang. Kasi, puto, baka nakatch nila yung pag-pregnant woman. Mas maganda pumunta ng casino, no?
Yeah.
Baka dagsain bukas ang Brantford Casino ng mga buntis. Hindi naman gano'n.
No, observation ko lang yun. Observation ko lang yun.
A disclaimer, guys.
Yes.
Please, do not put your baby on risk.
Exactly.
Pupuyat ka. And speaking of pagpupuyat, with your 26 years sa casino, ano ang pinaka-worst na nakita mo ng mga gamer doon, ng mga gambler?
I've seen many, but the one that kind of sticks into my head is yung mga tao na hindi umuuwi, katulad ni Kuya Ron. We've had a lot of incidents.
Yeah.
Ganon. By the way, I was a supervisor / manager sa casino dati. That was my role, right? And part of my like one component of my job is to track people. So one perfect example with this issue or this
Hold
this
on.
topic.
Can I stop you?
Sure.
To track people.
Yes.
When you say that's your job description, to
Yes.
track people,
That's one of the components that I do. That's one of my.
when you say track people, can you help us understand? CCTV camera ka ng mga tao?
No, we have
What do you
layer. When I say track people, what I mean is when somebody walks in, they sit down, they buy in. If it's a large enough buy-in, I need to make sure that we know how much you bought in for. If you don't have a player's card, we try to make sure that you get a player's card. That way we know how much you buy in, how much you play, how much you bet, how much we can give you for comps, and how long your stay is during the casino. That's part of my job,
Just to track.
just to track. That's just one component. There's other components too.
Do the people play knows you
Yes.
you are tracking them?
So when you walk into a casino, usually you get approached by a host or a player services, right? And they ask you to sign up for a player's card para makakuha kayo ng points. So later on, if you want a hotel, if you want dinner, if you want
Okay.
tickets to a game, parang parang air miles card.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the more you play, the more points you accumulate, and then you come to me, sasabihin mo, Mark or Kuya Puto.
Okay.
Can you get me a hotel? Can you get me dinner? Can you get me tickets to the game? That's what those things are for. But at the same time, the casino uses those players' cards to track you and your activity inside our building
For what purposes?
for everything.
Oh,
yeah,
everything. Wow.
Yeah, that's
That's
important.
intriguing, huh?
That's important information because
Uh-huh.
that tells me that tells the casino who the big players are, who the small players are. It tells us, how much to reward you if you ask for a comp, and unfortunately, a lot of people say everybody's the same, everybody's treated the same. And yeah, to a certain degree, but VIPs, the big spenders, they get a little extra attention. And all of that is, through the information that we get through those players' cards.
All right, fair and square. And I hope di naman tayo liable dito. Pinag-uusapan
No.
natin mga internal rules and
Yeah,
regulations
I'm
ng
done.
casino.
I'm out.
You're out. Anyway, nakalimutan mong mabanggit yung worst person na nakita mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was off Saturday, Sunday, yung day off ko dati. So I would come in on a Monday. And usually they would put me in the baccarat section. Dahil, it's busy, it's big money, people bet a lot, right? That's usually where yung mga bigger players namin, dun sila nag-hangout. So, there's this lady, regular namin, Asian siya. I think she's like Vietnamese or something, maybe. So, I came in on a Monday on a piece of paper. I looked at her, I said hi. I wrote down what she was wearing from head to toe. Blue shirt, blue jacket, black shoes, blonde hair, whatever. And then I took that piece of paper with that description, nilagay ko sa wallet ko. So, kinalimutan ko na yan, right? And then, the week went on. Went back to work Tuesday, she's still there. Wednesday, she's still there. Thursday, Friday. I walk into the casino at work Friday. I pull out that piece of paper that I wrote down nung Monday. And then I read it and I compare it to what I see in front of me. And guess what? Same blue shirt, same blue jacket, same black shoes. So what does that mean? Hindi umuwi. 5 araw.
Wow.
And that's common. So tatanong niyo siguro, Kuya Ron, saan natutulog yun? Di ba natutulog yun?
Wow. Yeah.
So, sa parking lot namin, there's always security. There's always surveillance going around, right? And napakadaming nahuhuli na natutulog sa kotse because ayaw umuwi.
Okay.
Yung iba hindi nahuhuli at siguro nung week na to, di nahuli siya. Di siya nahuli. And if you go to the bathrooms, it's very common to see like a bathroom stall na nakasara. Natutulog for half an hour, then they come out.
Wow.
Tatanong mo siguro, Kuya, hindi ba kumakain yun? That's why we give comps, right? So, whenever they feel hungry, they come to me, they go to guest services, print me out a comp.
And what's the mindset o ano ang tumatakbo sa isip mo sa mga panahon na ganun? Like,
At that time, nung nagtatrabaho pa ako doon, it's just normal.
Normal lang yan, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Good
it
job.
happens all the time. And unfortunately, when you're in it, when you're in that industry, you become very, very callous. Parang nagiging manhid ka
Wow.
sa nakikita mo dahil parang...
Regular na yun.
Yeah, it's just a regular thing that happens, right? But like what happened to me after I left the industry, para akong natauhan, I'm like, that's not normal.
I know.
Pero pag nandun kayo sa looban,
Normal
sure,
lang.
tatawanan nyo.
So that's your cap.
Yes.
That's your suit.
Yeah,
When you're working, you're working professionally.
Yes, you need to have a shield, right?
Yeah.
You need to have a shield in front of you.
Or else you're gonna be fired kung di mo ginagawa yung trabaho mo, right?
Like all of us staff members sa looban ng casino, we have a job to do.
Okay.
We have a duty to perform, right?
All right.
And karamihan sa amin, unfortunately, we go in, we do our 8 hours, we come out. Whatever happens in there, stays in there.
Yeah. But why now? Why now lumabas ka sa comfort zone mo and nagre-raise very active ka sa social media, sa Puto Mendoza page mo.
Yes.
Very active ka na nagbo-vlog, nagko-content about Sugal. What is in it for you? Anong motivations mo rito? Bakit now?
Bakit now?
Yeah.
Because over the years, like I said, that's over a quarter century I spent in that industry. Napakadami ko nakita, Kuya Ron. Hindi maganda, hindi ka nais-nais. And not only did I see it to strangers, I seen it through my own friends, acquaintances, and even family. Truthfully. And pag nakakita kayo ng tao na lulong sa sugal, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's lola, lolo, May mga pamilya yung mga taong yan. And that's a story that people don't see. A lot of people is quick to judge pag nakita nila yung tao na, tinapon niya yung buhay niya dahil sa sugal. But really, it goes way deeper than that. So naisip ko, nung nag-retire ako, I have this time now. And I'm not bound anymore by working there. Dahil pag nagtatrabaho kayo doon, you sign a waiver. Right?
Of course, yeah.
Part of your employment package, you can't show up to social media and speak anything bad about the industry. You can't. You can't keep your job and do that at the same time, right? But now that I'm not there anymore, you know what? Why not raise awareness? Why not? If it's gonna save one person, hey, you know what? That's all worth it. Because that's what we're here for anyways, diba?
Yeah.
To help each other.
I don't want to stop you from opening up Because when you open something, it brings me to the next level of conversation. Is it really hurting na makita sa loob ng pamilya na merong ganitong sugat or may ganitong sakit? Can you share to us your experience?
Okay, so I don't really talk about this much, but since Kuya Ron is here, special interview, I'll share it with you. My dad, had some problems with SUGAL. Okay, my dad has always been a very good provider. I would even say responsible. No, there was a time na nangyari na ganun siya. And then I noticed the pivot. I noticed the shift from that person to somebody who I don't even recognize or know. So, make a long story short, yung pong lola ko before she passed away, she gave me a nice gift because I like cars, right? She bought me a Corvette. I love this car. It's a nice red Corvette. I barely drove it dahil bata pa ako nun. I couldn't afford gas.
Wow.
I couldn't afford insurance really. So, most of the time, nandun lang sa garahe ng mom ko, right? And when I started working sa casino, that was around the time yung lola ko namatay. She went to heaven. And maybe my dad needed an outlet. Because masakit yun, nawala yung nanay mo, di ba?
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate. And he didn't know what to do. Because yung dad ko kasi, he's a very private person, right? He doesn't like talking about his emotions. And we noticed that, he stopped coming home. He would disappear. His work started to suffer. Like he was never present. Long story short, we found out later on, he started gambling. Okay? So, I moved out of the house. Started my own life. Started my own family dito sa Brantford. And we ended up buying a house like over there somewhere. And my dad would never usually visit, right? Because, he's busy doing whatever he's doing. And then one day, nagtaka ako. He came to visit. He was knocking on my door. I'm like, Pa, what are you doing here? So, I let him in. And then he goes, Anak, pasensya ka na. Meron akong nagawa. Hindi ka nais-nais. I'm like, Pa, what is it? You can tell me whatever. Sabi niya, alam mo yung kotse mo? Parang na-disgrasya. I'm like, what do you mean na-disgrasya? I haven't even driven it. It's been parked at your house sa loob ng garahe. Nagka-problema ako, sabi niya. I'm like, what happened? So, before he even said anything, I picked up my phone. Tinawagan ko yung mom ko sa Oakville. Sabi ko, Ma, can you walk to the garage, open the door, tell me my Corvette is in there?
Oh.
He's like, Anak, pasensya ka na. It's been gone for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Tapos kakausapin ka raw ni Papa mo.
Wow.
Tungkol doon. I'm sorry. So, I was brokenhearted because that was my grandma's last gift to me.
Wow.
Diba? It's not just a car. Like, it meant a lot to me. There was an emotional
Sentimental
attachment. Yes,
value,
yes. So, I didn't know how to react. I really didn't. But there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of anger. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
But this is my dad. This is like the guy that gave me life. What am I going to do? Murahin ko siya, basusin ko siya. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I was not raised like that. So when I put the phone down with my mom, I looked at him, like, straight eye to eye like this.
Oh my God.
Like he knew.
Wow.
I didn't say anything. I took all of the powers that the universe can give me just so wala akong sabihin because I don't want to say anything stupid. I really don't. Dahil tatay ko yan eh.
Yeah.
I just turned my back and then I locked myself inside my bedroom and then he left. And then, long story short, we did not speak for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years,
Hindi
yeah.
kayo nag-usap ng
2
father
years.
mo.
And just imagine, Kuya Ron, that's just a car. Okay? I've seen people lose businesses. I've seen people lose livelihoods. Kung tutuusin yung nangyari sa akin, mababaw nga eh. Kumpara sa mga nakita ko sa ibang tao.
But different persons have different challenges and level of acceptance and
True.
denials, right? So, wow. How do you cope up with that pain and anger to your dad?
Well,
Paano?
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was very angry.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
Of
I felt very
course.
betrayed. I
Of
really
course,
did.
yeah.
Like, how can you do this?
Yes.
Knowing the fact that that was the last gift that my grandmother, your mom, gave to me, right? But
Wow.
then at the end of the day, time heals all wounds, right? My mother invited me to their house. Dahil hindi ako umuwi ng bahay for 2 years, right? And then, I'm like, you know what? Sabi ng wife ko, it's just a car. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it
Don't be
go.
so materialistic. There's a reason why that happened. Because there's always a reason why the universe, makes things happen. When something bad happens, it's not usually that bad. It's usually like a door to another opportunity, right? So my wife, she's very positive, and she told me, talk to your dad, make peace. Matanda na tayo. So yeah, pumayag ako. Drove to Oakville. But really, I was not ready, right? Opened the door. My mom was there. She hasn't seen my kids in 2 years. So she was really happy to see them, right? Big hug, everybody crying. And then my dad was like right there. Sabi niya sa akin, Mark, come over here, usap tayo. So done, we made our peace. We made our peace. And then we promised each other
Great.
we were gonna work harder moving forward to rebuild the relationship. And to be honest, Kuya Ron, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. It really
That's
is. Because it gave me no focus about life, and it made me closer not just to him but to everybody, including my wife, because it's people that are pushing me towards the right direction with life, right? So yeah,
At because of that, we have to say, it's not about me.
it's not about you.
It's all about we. To the next level.
That's right.
So, yung to the next level na to, Mark, na nagkaroon kayo ng settlement ng yung dad, nagkapatawaran, you embrace na it is what it is, the wounds are being healed, and yung brokenness, na fixed then, only the time can tell, right? But shout out to your wife, Susan Mendoza, isang napakagaling na mortgage broker. Hi, Ma'am Susan, kamusta kayo dyan? Again, kung wala din yung better half mo, I believe hindi ka rin makakapag-move on. Kaya tamang-tama lang talaga na no man is an island.
No man is an island.
We need each other. We need our better half. And again, let the time speak on paano tayo magpapatawad, paano tayo tatanggap. Alright, now, what lessons can we learn from that scenario? And that's why you're doing this awareness.
So the pain that I felt, okay, to the point where akala ko magkakawatak-watak yung pamilya ko. That feeling, I don't want anybody else to feel that way. I really don't. And kung tutusin nga, I mentioned, mababaw pa nga yung pinagdaanan ko kumpara sa mga nakita ko. Paano pa yung mga talagang na-devastated?
Yeah.
Because, man, I've seen people throw their lives down the toilet. I've witnessed and heard people die, because of, depression, because talagang wala na silang mapupuntahan. That's why it's so important to have that support. If it's going to come from your wife, from your family, from your friend, no man is an island. It's such a powerful thing to have that backup support if you're going through something. That's why I figure, you know what? Let's raise awareness.
Yeah,
If we can save
awareness,
one person from feeling the way I did, why not? It makes the world a better place.
And that's what you see in Putos Mendoza's blog page. Kindly follow, like, and kung meron kayong kamag-anak, relatives, friends, or loved ones na hook into this gambling addiction, the social media platform can be used to utilize those dopamine, those how do you call that? Dopamine, yung nanggigigil kang kunin yun, parang ganun.
Giggle.
Gigil.
Temptations,
right?
Yeah. Dahil, like earlier, we talked about the promise of something for nothing. That idea, to a lot of people, it's really attractive. Kaya nga ang dami bumibili ng lottery ticket every weekend because they want to hit that lottery, right? So they never have to work. So they can do all of the things that they want to do with their
The
family.
promise of getting this.
Getting this for nothing. That's why.
All right. So, let's talk about codependent.
Sure.
Kasi in addiction, I took up addiction and community service. Sa mga addiction, when someone become an addict, may codependent na tinatawag. Can you tell me more about that kind of codependency sa addiction ng... Do you consider that as an addict? Gambling addict?
First of all, guys, okay, I am not a doctor. I am not an expert.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
let's
just
get that out of the way. This is my personal opinion, personal observation, based on the career that I've had in the industry, right?
Copy.
Yeah. So, sugal addiction is really very similar to alcohol addiction or any kind of addiction, right?
Yeah, drugs.
It's something that people do over and over and over again with all disregard to health, to finances, to your spirituality, to your soul, to everything.
Wow.
It's a very selfish disease. Problema lang kasi dito, you're gonna go broke. Not only you're gonna go broke, you might even end up taking your life or something dumb like that. Because people do get desperate.
So, again, yung codependency dito, did your mom support your dad in a way na
problema kasi
ginatago or
problema sa sugal?
Yeah.
It's very selfish and it's very individual. You would not know most of the time until it's too late. Because lahat ng tao na nalululong, karamihan ng tao na nalululong, they keep it to themselves. They hide it because there's a taboo, there's a stigma associated to it, right? Dahil iba-ibang tao, iba-iba lakad ng buhay nila. Ang dami dyan, mga professionals, mga doktor, mga lawyers, but you don't know they're doctors and lawyers, pero addicted sila.
Wow.
Do they want their peers? Do they want their audience to know that they are? And there's like regular people like me and you. Maybe the image is not as important, but at the same time, meron tayong delikadesa, right? We don't want people to know that we're doing something dumb that would put our family, our livelihood in jeopardy. So really, most of the time, unfortunately, you would not know until it's too late. So...
Yeah, that's how you become addicted, that you didn't know, right? The false of getting this result right away.
Yeah.
But let's talk about kung nandun ka na sa sitwasyon.
Okay.
Na-hooked ka na.
Okay.
What are the triggers? Anong mga nagtitrigger dito on your own personal observation?
Triggers? So
Is it the lights, the sounds?
A lot of sugarols will say, pag nasa looban sila ng casino, pag nakahawak sila ng baraha, nawawala lahat ng problema nila.
Those are the triggers, right?
Lahat ng sakit sa katawan nila nawawala.
Wow.
Lahat ng iniisip nila na hindi maganda sa ulo nila, nawawala.
What?
It's like an escape, right?
Wow.
And if you think about it, if you've ever walked into a casino, that's the environment that we try to give the customers. Pag nandun ka, there's lights, there's music, there's drinks, there's ang gaganda ng mga servers.
Yeah.
Everything is beautiful. Everything there that is set up will make you want to stay.
Yeah.
That's one of the triggers.
Parang parating New Year.
Every day.
Christmas.
It's your birthday every day.
Birthday every day.
Oh, yeah. Maraming nagsasabi sa akin yun. Pag nandun daw sila, they don't think about problems. They just think about having fun until they lose their shirt.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, sa mga viewers natin, kung nakaka-relate kayo, or meron kayong mga comments, or meron kayong mga questions, though we are not really an expert in this kind of, we were just talking about Puto Mendoza on advocating the awareness on, raising awareness sa mga kababayan natin na wag mahook sa gambling addictions.
Yeah.
Let's just use this platform, say something. Comment lang below and paki-follow, paki-share pwede rin ho kayong mag-click ng notification bells dahil lang to the next level, it's all about, helping our viewers going to the good level na gusto nating marating. Alright? And thank you so much, Puto Mendoza.
Sure.
Probably, maybe we can still ask you, kung ako nanonood nito, siguro itatanong ko, Kuya Puto, how can I help ma-raise ang awareness na to kung isang membro ng aking mahal sa buhay ay nandoon na? Ano may papayo mo?
If nasuspect ninyo na merong malapit sa inyo that you care about na merong problema, the first thing is wag niyong ipapahiya yung taong yun. Napaka-importante nun. Dahil it doesn't help the situation. Meron nang problema, ipapahiya mo pa. Diba? And number 2, be supportive. Be very supportive. Dahil karamihan ng mga tao na may problema, all they need is somebody to speak to. Kung i-alienate yung taong yun, di lalong lalala yung problema. I found it also very effective para kung hindi pa huli lahat, i-separate niyo yung pera. Because pag walang pera, walang sugal. Right? So if you took the bullet out of the gun's useless. Correct? So if it's not too late, kung maaagapan, separate it if you can. Limit their access to the assets, to the money. Credit cards, it's huge. Okay? Doon nakakasurpresahan yung mga pamilya-pamilya. Dahil, who checks the balance on your line of credit all the time? Who checks the credit card balance all the time, right? So make sure you're vigilant and you're diligent checking those things. Kung merong charge $500 here, $2,000 there, kung merong cash advance, question it. But if you can limit the access ng taong yun sa livelihood ninyo, sa mga assets ninyo, makakatulong din yun. And there's so many organizations out there. There is. Like sa casino lang, sa trabaho ko, believe it or not, we have a department called Responsible Gaming. You can actually self-ban yourself. It's a program. Every casino has it. Kunyari, wala na, gusto mo na talaga magbago, tapos ka na, talagang, I don't want to do this anymore. This is killing me. Okay? You can approach any of the staff.
Okay.
And just tell them, how can I self-exclude myself? How can I self-ban myself? And they will show you the proper channels. They will direct you to the proper people to get that done.
Great.
That's one step. Another step, Gamblers Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah, there's so many programs out there by the government. Okay, nonprofit. You can call them. You can arrange meetings with people that are going through something similar, because there's nothing more powerful than listening to the stories of other people na merong relations sa pinagdadaanan mo, di ba? Because if you show people that you're not alone, it'll motivate them, hopefully, to go down the right path.
Alright. So, that is the questions. Kung ikaw ay miyembro ng isang pamilya o meron kang karelasyon or kaibigan, kamag-anak, kapatid, or katrabaho na nalululong sa bisyo ng sugal or gambling addiction, sa pagbabalik natin to the next level, magko-commercial muna tayo, Kuya Puto, pag-usapan natin yung road to recovery. Sure. Ayon sa kanyang opinion sa pagbabalik ng to the next level. It's not about me.
It's not about you.
It's all about we to the next level.
Perfect.
All right, welcome back to the next level. This is Ronald Alan Tulay, your daily blogger in Toronto, and we are currently talking about sugal to the next level. Hindi para i-promote ang sugal, kundi para tulungan ang mga nabibilang nahuhook up sa gambling addictions on how to move on to the next level. And ang guest natin, walang iba, Puto Mendoza.
Hey guys.
Welcome back. Again, let's talk about road to recovery. Paano nga ba ang step by step na maipapayo mo sa mga addicted na sa sugal? The road to recovery.
The road to recovery. So road to recovery is different for everybody. But yung pinaka-importanting aspect talaga, if you really are serious about recovering from this disease, we'll call it, is acceptance. Acceptance. Napaka-importante yan. Because everybody who has an addiction is always in denial. They never want to admit it to themselves. You know, I can tell you what to do. Kuya Ron can tell you what to do. A doctor, a lawyer, your pare, your whoever can tell you what to do. Pero kung di ka truthful sa sarili mo, if you're not ready, none of those advices will work. You won't do it. So everything has to start with you. I tell that to everybody that asks me that question all the time. You know, before you proceed with anything else, look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, man, have I hit rock bottom? Am I done? You know, is it time for me to turn things around because, you know, everybody around me, including myself, have suffered enough? It's got to start with you. Okay? Next thing, from what I've witnessed, you have to cut off the money supply. Yes. Napaka-importante nun. You know, hopefully it's not too late before you get to this stage, but you really, really have to cut off the money supply because what good is a gun with no bullets, right? You are useless to the casino if you have no money, okay? So if you can, trust your finances to a partner, like a wife, for example, you know, para limited yung access mo sa pera, sa credit cards, sa line of credits, sa assets, para hindi kayo matulad nung nangyari sa akin dun sa kotse ko, di ba? So if you can separate all of that somehow, some way, at least mapoprotektahan kung ano man yung matira na lang doon sa pamilya, di ba? Hindi mauubos lahat, hindi malulusaw lahat. After that, the most important thing and the most effective thing that I've seen people do, find a different hobby. Yes, find a different hobby. Because I tell you what,
Recreate yourself.
yeah, if you're just sitting at home, nunod kayo ng TV, yun lang gagawin ninyo, the moment you see a commercial, guess what?
Triggering.
Tatakbo ka doon sa casino. Dahil trigger yan eh.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
relapse.
Relapse. Oh
The
my
moment you
God.
pick up your phone and then you see like a pop-up ad on YouTube for a casino or an online poker site,
True.
guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna pull out your credit card.
Casino on the phone.
There you go. It's dangerous. Online casino. Oh my God, that's another beast. That's dangerous. But yeah, if you find any other activity that you're into, that you're passionate about, yung utak ninyo magiging busy. Yung katawan ninyo magiging busy. So hopefully, you know, that'll be a way for you to escape. Diba? Play basketball.
Recreate.
Yeah, play basketball. Go clean your car. Go clean your house. Start a business even better. You know? A lot of my friends, you know, because problema kasi if you work in a casino, most of the employees are sugaros, right? So I've witnessed a lot of my friends do this, you know. One of my friends, he opened up a detailing shop. Okay? So instead na pag day off niya, pupunta siya sa casino, magsugal.
Doon na lang.
You know, nagdi-detail siya ng kotse ng mga katrabaho namin. And then he gets paid like $200-300 per car. So nabisi na siya, nagkapera pa siya. Walang nasugal, walang nalusaw.
Makapunta nga dyan sa detailing na ano. Kailangan ko magpa-detail ng sasakyan ko. Anyway.
That's it. Anyways, like I said, one of the most effective ways that I have witnessed is keeping your mind busy with another activity that you're passionate about. And
Keep your mind busy.
hopefully that activity is something productive. Hopefully that activity is something that'll benefit you, you know, emotionally, spiritually, maybe even financially.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most effective way. But if that don't work, seek professional help. Problema lang kasi sa professional help is this, right? Does it really work? You know, like, to me, like, there's doctors, I know there's studies, blah, 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 blah. But going back to, like, the number one reason that I mentioned, if you're not truthful to yourself, It doesn't matter what these professionals are going to say to you. It doesn't matter what these professionals are going to make you do. If you're not truthful to yourself, none of that matters. Right?
Right now, palagay ko mas madali ang recovery. If you just only used your common sense, maraming platform sa social media that you can watch, that you can read, that you can access podcasts like this, you know,
The biggest
Spotify,
problem
right?
kasi Kuya Ron is
Yes.
this, right? Lalo na sa culture natin, Pinoy tayo. It's toxic masculinity. Disiplina lang yan.
Okay.
Kayang-kaya yan. Disiplina lang yan.
Okay.
You know? Trust me, guys. Kung merong disiplina, na-bankrupt na lahat ng casino. You know, why are casinos so profitable? Why do they make billions of dollars every year? Because there's no discipline. You just gotta be honest with yourself and seek help if that's what you want to do really with your life. Diba?
Wow. So guys, kindly follow this page, subscribe and click the notification bell and try to rewind, capture, you know, understand behind the person bakit niya sinabi yon, you know. There are things in life na hindi nababasa o naririnig sa labi pero nararamdaman ng instinct nyo. Guys, Puto Mendoza,
Yeah.
advocate for, you know,
And I just want to
avoid
add,
addictions.
and I just want to add, Kuya Ron, you know, there really is no cure. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but
Okay.
based on my observation and my time that I spent in the industry, there really is no cure. Okay? There's a treatment. Because yung sugal, pag na-addicted kayo, dumidikit sa kaluluwa mo yan. Dumidikit sa buto mo yan. And it's a constant battle every day for you to not choose that path. Because all it takes is a trigger. And how strong you are. How strong are you? Diba? That's going to be the question you're going to be asking yourself. You know, tayo iba-iba. Willpower ng iba, mas malakas kesa sa iba. Yung iba,
Yes,
mas mahina,
yes.
diba?
Yes.
So, once you become addicted, it's a constant battle not to fall back into that old habits that got you into that crappy place to begin with. So, it's not like you take a pill and it's gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hanggang mamatay kayo, unfortunately, there's always going to be a percentage in there that might be prone to going back.
Yeah.
You just have to constantly remind yourself, do I really want to go back to that person? Or do I like my life now? Diba?
Great. So, distance, locations, it could be sights and sounds as well. It could be taste that would trigger anyone from your family na addicted. Be
And-
watchful.
Another thing,
Yep.
before I forget, it's also your crowd.
Crowd.
Very much so. Yung lola ko, before she passed away, she told me one thing that I never forgot. She goes to me, Mark, you want me to tell you your future? I told her, I go, Ma, how you gonna do that? Di ka naman, ayun nang huhula, di ka naman huhula eh.
Yeah.
Sabi sa akin ng lola ko, show me 4 of your friends that you hang around with and I will tell you your future. Natanim sa utak ko yan hanggang tumatanda ako hanggang ngayon because it's so important who you allow in your inner circle. If the people that you hang around with are all sugarols, like me, sa trabaho ko, lahat ng katrabaho ko sugarol, right? But I did my best not to hang out with that crowd.
It's a strong mindset, right?
It is. It's about the people that you allow to surround yourself. So, you know, if you're used to this type of crowd and you know yung mga activities nila is gonna get you in trouble,
Stay away.
stay away.
Find a new one.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should drop them, just
Yeah.
you know it's not gonna be healthy for you, so go this way. It's very important who you allow and don't allow in your inner circle.
We are so excited. Simula pa lang to ng laban ng, you know, promoting the awareness na maka-recover ang ating pamilya, kapuso, o maring ikaw na nanonood ngayon to going to the next level at malampasan mo ang mga sakit na ito. But sinabi mo there's no cure. Kung there's no cure, anong kailangan gawin?
Fight every day. Fight every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Compare your life back when lulong ka, desperado ka, like you feel like the whole world is gonna end, the whole world is gonna squash you compared to life na meron ka ngayon. medyo naka-recover ka, ano mas masarap, ano mas maganda. So constantly remind yourself about the progress that you've made.
Great.
Are you willing to throw that away? Because hindi lang ikaw ang sabit dito eh. Pamilya mo rin.
Yeah.
And everybody else that you care about. Because guess what? It's a selfish disease. And most people that are addicted, di nila naiisip, hindi lang ikaw. It's everybody around you that you're bringing down. Trust me, I know, because I felt it.
Life story ni Puto Mendoza.
Yes, sir.
Again, maraming salamat, Puto Mendoza. Kindly follow and subscribe to his channel. And abangan niyo po ang mga pag-uusapan pa natin sa To The Next Level. Hindi lang gambling addiction. Maybe we'll look for alcohol or drugs or whatever addictions out there. And we will touch base with you guys. Kaya follow lang kayo, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
That's it.
Last few words from our resource person, Mr. Puto Mendoza. Ano ang pwede mong ibigay sa ating mga viewers ngayon and followers na words of wisdom from Puto Mendoza?
The best thing that I can share is what I just spoke about 2 seconds ago. Yung payo sa akin ng lola ko. Be very, very careful who you allow in your inner circle because they influence how your life is or may turn out in the future. So, kung meron kayong gustong mangyari sa buhay ninyo na positive, hang around positive people.
Maraming salamat. Thank you. And this is it. Shout out to our art film director, ng ating content creator. Magpapaalam muna tayo at abangan nyo ang aming next episode. This is Ronald Alan Turla. I'm your daily blogger in Toronto, Canada, creator, founder ng To The Next Level. Kasama ko si Puto Mendoza right now. It's not about me.
It's not about you.
It's all about we to the next
Level.
level. Peace out.